I wanted to do a more realistic walking plan or exercise plan of any kind, and it's good to switch it up some. And actually, um, talking about that, it'll be a month or two, but I'm going to look into the Snakers program at a local gym, and I can get public transportation to there. And they'll pick me up at my house and take me to that particular gym. It'd be $1.50 each way every time I want to go, so about $3. But the Sneakers program, which is through Medicare, if you have Medicare, um, so I'm going to look into that. But and I'll start using the bike and things like that. But uh, bikes and whatever else that stationary bikes, they might have a rowing machine. You get the idea. But and you can lower this even. And like I said, I started out with 5-minute walks, 2 or 3. Well, one at least a 5-minute walk, and I'll be honest. At first, that's all I wanted to do, and within a week, I had increased it to probably about 10-minute walks, a couple times a day, 3 times a day. But it's just more about consistency than anything. At first, you do it daily, and then you do more, but you do it not as often. You might have a rest day in between, which it's an active rest, meaning you don't go out and take a walk necessarily, but you might do household chores or something, for example. Or you might decide to go shopping and just look around some, or whatever. You get the idea. Uh, it, and it's a short walk, uh, but it'll tire you out if you're not used to walking, and that's uh, good because your body will get used to it, and 15 minutes will start to feel easy. And when it does, that's when you're in a week or two, you increase your daily walking time to 20 minutes. And when you're comfortable with 20 minutes, go to 25, then 30. Before you know it, you're walking 69 to 90 minutes. And if you ever plan on walking a 5K or something like that, the goal is 60 to 90 minutes at one time. So you'd start out 5 minutes at once or 10 minutes at once, and work your way up to in 5-minute increments. So it's a long time go, and you start out where you're at. You might be able to do 15-minute walks. It might be easy for you because you already do 10-minute walks. Not necessarily officially, but you walk with friends, grocery. It used to be in the mall, but going shopping or whatever, or just walking around, hanging out or whatever. Which I don't think that's as common as it used to be, but you get the idea. You start out with where you're at. But you add 5 minutes a week, and it doesn't take as long as you think it will. Uh, it would take about 15 weeks if you started out at 15 minutes. And that sounds like a long time. But And here's another idea. Add one long walk per week. Once you're walking 20 minutes a week, designate one day, ideally the day before your rest day. Because by this point you'll be taking 1 or 2 rest days a week to take a longer walk. It could be a 25-minute walk. instead of, a 30-minute walk instead of a 20-minute walk. Or it could even be longer. And at this point, you're just trying to walk for a long period of time. You're not worried about speed at this point, but you can work on speed if you want, especially if you're planning on doing an actual 5K, or if you want to walk so many miles in an hour, like 3 miles in an hour, or 5 miles in an hour, or whatever. And then you have one day a week where you go a little faster the whole time. Or you can focus on interval training. That's where you go at a faster speed for so long, and then you slow down to a normal speed for so long. And you can do one of each per week. In other words, you can have one shorter, faster walk one day a week, and a longer, slower walk one day a week. And you increase the length of those shorter walks, and you increase the amount of time you're at the faster pace, and you gradually increase the amount of time that you are out on a slower walk. Say you're at a 30-minute workout the other days of the week, you would do a 45-minute, and that gets you used to it, see. And it could even take less time than that, because you might, if you don't feel tired, you can always say, well, I was supposed to go up to 20 minutes this week. I'm going to try 21 to 22 minutes tomorrow. And if that don't, because I wouldn't go from 20 to 25, especially if it was the first time you walked at 20 minutes. Going from 15 to 20 minutes. But you could say, well, tomorrow I might try 21 minutes or 22 minutes. And if you're not tired then you can go to 25 minutes. Because everybody has a different limit. That's the thing. But you won't be able to increase both your speed and walking time at the same time in the same walk. Because walking faster will tire you out faster. You see what I'm saying? Once you've worked your way up to walking 40 minutes on your daily walk, try walking for a full hour or a GPS tracked 5K route once a week on the day before your rest day. Check your 5K walking speed to see if you're satisfied with your projected 5K performance. So if you're just wanting to walk 3 miles a day in an hour, then that might be enough, because that's 3.1 miles is what 5K is. Or if you want to get in 5 miles in an hour, you would keep working toward that, whatever your goal is. And there's just Google 5 miles, working toward beginner to 5 miles an hour, 5 miles a day or something like that. And and it doesn't have to be every day. Some days you walk faster in a shorter amount of time. Some days you walk longer with no distance goal in mind. And some days you want to see, you vary it up. For one thing, it's good for your body. For another thing, and I did this to a varying degree, for another thing, it's good for your not getting bored with it. Because if you're walking the same distance, the same route, you're going to get tired of it Plus, it's not good for your body. You're more likely to get injured. Um, but that is, um, and you can start out in as little as 10 minutes a day for 2 weeks. You know, which you know, or whatever. It's about how you start. And then um, here's a plan right here. I'm actually going to link this in the description. Couch to walking a 5K. And this is as beginner as you can get, pretty much. The first 2 weeks is 10 minutes every day. That's 7 days a week. Because it's such a small amount of minutes. It might not seem like it, but it is. And by the time you're walking 15 to 20 minutes, most days, you're getting 2,000 steps a day total by the end of the day. Just by living life. And I encourage everybody to get at least 2,000 steps a day. Because it's very important. Week 3, 10 minutes every day, but one 20-minute walk. That's all you gotta do, one 20-minute walk. The others are 10 minutes. Week 4, 10 minutes every day and one easy walk. Easy walks are where you just plan on a 15-20 minute walk at whatever pace. Like you go to the park, a local park or something, and you just walk around until you're tired. And if you feel like if that place has benches, like most places do, you can sit down for a minute or two. But 10 minutes a day, it won't take long for you to get used to that. After the 4th week, after you've completed the 4th week, you do 10 minutes every day and one easy walk, like I just described, and that's a half a mile. At whatever pace. But you just want to get that half a mile in. Then week 6, 1 mile. And that may sound like quite a bit more. But, and I have a lot of health problems. But even I walk. Without my cane, if I'm not having to use my cane, because sometimes I have to use my cane, sometimes I don't. I do 2 miles in an hour, so, and most people do more like 3 to 3.5 miles an hour, and I'm very short. I'm under 5 foot tall now, so it's pretty much an extra 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Week 7, you walk 10 minutes every day and one easy walk of 2 miles. Week 8, 15 minutes every day, one easy walk of 2 miles. Week 9, 15 minutes every day and one easy walk of 2.5 miles. 15 minutes every day. This is week 10, sorry. 15 minutes every day, one walk of 3 miles. So in 10 minutes, you've got to where you can do 3 miles. Not every day, but you can do it. Um, and what you do is you decide how hard it is. And you can repeat a week. If it wasn't that hard, you can like if you already walk 10 minutes every day, you can go to week 3. You see what I'm saying? And if you're doing 20 minutes, if that 20-minute long walk isn't that hard, you can, once you've tried it, you can do the half mile or the mile or what. This is more about where you're at. And I'm going to link this site, like I said. And there are more on this this website, like more plans, like if you're already more advanced, or if you're not as advanced, you start out where you're at. You know what I'm saying? So wherever you're at, it's all about getting better than you were the day before. In my opinion, that's how I've always said goes. Where am I at today? Because you're not going to go from couch to walking a marathon tomorrow. And it's real easy to be motivated when you're not in pain and all this. But when you're in pain and you're trying to get up to 3 miles or 5 miles or whatever, and you have to do it day after day after day, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. It's not doing it one time and getting hurt. It's being able to be healthier, and being more active and living longer and healthier, and or at least for that me it is. And I'm gonna and there's a actual 8K, which is about 5 miles training plans out there. And you take rest days, and you also take cross training days. That's where if you're walking or running, most days you bike one day and you dance one day and you swim another, and if you normally walk, you run. You know what I'm saying? And I may actually do a few of these because a friend that watches my channels asked me to talk about this some, and since I'm recording so far ahead, I've told her that I would do it, but it's looking like September before it'll be posted. But that'll be good, actually, because I would not recommend walking in the heat of the day where I live. Maybe in the early morning or maybe evening, but there's like 2 months here where it's like, beware, stay inside air conditioned buildings or risk a heat stroke. You don't hear about it as much here as you do in Texas, and my theory is it's more humid here, so it knocks the breath out of you and you feel like you're gonna before you actually do, whereas maybe some of the other places you think, oh, I'm fine. You won't feel fine where I'm at. It won't sneak up on you. You walk outside for a second, you want to run back in, and you won't not feel thirsty. If somebody offers you a glass of water, you'll take it gladly. Or a glass of tea or whatever it is they offer you. You'll take it gladly. And you'll want more. But I think in a few days, I'll probably record it next. But I'm going to do a few of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing some of these as once my back gets better. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at biking, but since I can't ride a bike, never could learn, and I tried very hard. But I could do it on a stationary bike. But I want us all to get healthy together. Can you do it with me? Because I want to live as long as I can, and I want to be as healthy as I can be during this. Because, I almost died not long ago. It's been 5 years almost to the day, of the day that I'm recording, that I woke up from a coma. And about a month before that is when it happened. And I woke up on and off before that month, but I didn't know. I wasn't aware of the things that were going on. I was heavily medicated. They didn't know if I was going to live or die. And also, at one point, they had to put me in a coma some way. I'm not sure. Like I said, I was not aware of stuff until after the fact. But from what I hear, they had to kind of put me in a coma. And if I woke up, then the odds were really good that I'd survive. Because it wasn't just one thing. It was like hypothermia and all these other things. And my blood pressure was out of whack. And for the only time in my life, I had to take insulin shots. But by the time I was back home, I didn't have to be on insulin shots anymore. And in fact, I wasn't on metformin or anything. And they weaned me off before then. But I'm saying, that's how bad I was. I was badly dehydrated, all kinds of things. But the reason why I survived was and I truly believe I would not have survived if I hadn't found out I had gout, decided I was going to lose weight, exercise more, lower my cholesterol, lower my triglycerides, increase my good cholesterol. But the good thing about it is, and I've talked about this in every video, but I'm going to do it right after this, before I even do the other one. There was a theme to every single one of them. Lose weight if you're overweight. Exercise more. Eat fruits and vegetables and whole grains. If you have any of those, and especially if you have all of them, because that's part of metabolic syndrome, which I have, and a big reason why I have it is because of PCOS, and it increases your risk of dying, especially if you're younger when you start having it. There's a difference between being 60 or 70 and starting to gain weight and stuff. It will still affect you, but nothing like me. I've been overweight all my life, and my Aunt Polly was too, and she lived to be 80. But she also exercised a lot and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And she ate healthy. She ate way too much and was overweight. But most of what she ate were healthy meals, really. There was a lot of fruits and vegetables and whole grains, because she was old school. I mean, she was born before my dad. And my dad, because my dad's the second youngest, was the second youngest, and he was born in 1937. So in the 20s and 30s, you just ate whatever you could grow. So you like made your own bread from your own grain. Especially around here, most people did. Most people were farmers, even if it was just to sustain their own family. And they might have had a job out in the community besides that. But you knew that you was going to eat if you had a farm. Or you might share, like one farmer, you supply certain items, like you supply tomato plants and stuff, or you give them money and they make sure that you had tomatoes. And you could also say, well, I want corn too. And to an extent, a town that is about 30 minutes to an hour from me that my brother lives in, they do that right now. But that's not how I've got overweight. Part of it is PCOS. Yes, absolutely. But part of it was eating Twinkies and brownies and, which, do I occasionally have a brownie now? Yes. Do I occasionally have a Twinkie now? Yes. Do I mostly eat healthy though? Yes. Do I need to get back into exercise? Yes. Do I still, even at my least active, do more than at my most active years ago? Yes. I'm just trying to look at it in the big picture. And, soon I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to find out the number to my case manager at my insurance and find out how to get the Silver Sneakers program started. Or I may be able to just call my insurance company and not have to involve my case manager there. But for the next month or so, I have a lot of appointments between me and my sister. But, like today, like I said, I got 3,000 steps. I used to get more than that on my, let's see, I've got almost 4,000 steps. And it's almost 7 p.m. now. I did some errands with my sister in between recordings. I've been doing a lot of recordings, like I've been saying, because in September I want to be able to rest in the next couple of weeks and take a few weeks to where if I don't record any videos, it's okay. If I only record one video, that's okay. I still plan on doing the wrestling ones, and the and that right there will be 2 or 3 videos a week. Because right now you're getting 3 for sure that are pre-planned. Any WWE premium live events or pay-per-views, you're getting you're going to get really an audio with the picture, but a video is what I'm calling everything. A video, and then Raw and SmackDown. So anywhere from 2 to 3 bonus videos that I'm just doing. So even if I just did those, you won't notice, because I'm already at, let's see, end of August sometime. Um, yes, end of August. So, and by the beginning of September, it's not so bad. I mean, it's still hot, but it's not 75 degrees still at night. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was the middle of the night before it got down to 70, counting heat index and everything, which the heat index automatically goes down once the sun sets. But, it gets up to like 95 or 100 or more, counting the heat index when it's the height of the sun. And I mean, the temperature itself is usually like 80, 85. But if you add heat index, it's way higher, But anyway, I'm going to do a video on how easy it is to get overall healthy just by doing the same 4 or 5 things. If you listen to my last 5 videos or so, let me count them. Because I did one on triglycerides, one on cholesterol, one on blood pressure, one on blood sugar. It's the same things. There was not one different thing on any of them. They might have been a different order. They might have been slightly different in some way. Like, one of them's 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week to exercise. One, it's 45 minutes a day, 5 days a week. But it's all exercise more, eat better. And if you're overweight, lose weight. That's it. So, and my eating's already the best it's ever been. Even when I was exercising more, because I knew that I could have the occasional treat. And now I can't. Like, I wanted a candy bar so bad when we were at Family Dollar earlier today, but I knew that I couldn't with not being able to exercise as much. So, and I hope you couldn't hear me spinning my little fidget spinner. And it's a tiny mini one. But I'm going to stop this. I don't think I'm going to do that video like I had said I was going to. It's literally the same 4 things for all of them. And I think I said that in several of the videos already, so I won't beat a dead horse. But I am going to do going from couch to 5 miles a day, or that's an 8K. And there's no time limit really on this one, other than there are different schedules. And it's actually not recommended to start this one until you can easily do 1 mile. So you may have to follow another plan before you can even get on this plan. But so actually I think I'm gonna just bookmark it, and we'll get started with the easier plan. And that's what it's all about, starting where you're at and going from there. I encourage everybody to start where you're at. With that said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.